Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Love and Light Show, where your special guest is Alex Cormier, and he is going to talk about how we can get unstuck and create breakthroughs in our life. So definitely stick around and learn how you can find about your higher awareness, how the ego and fears play into some of that. And we're also going to do about a 5-minute self-coaching exercise for higher awareness at the end. So definitely stick around for that. And I encourage you to say hi as you pop on live, or if you're catching the replay, we love to engage with you even after the show. And we're on the Be Live platform, so we can't see you when you pop on. You have to say hi. So I'm Laura. I am a happiness coach and healer, and I love to empower women to get to their dream happy life through self-love and self-care. So I typically work with people pleasers and perfectionists, workaholics, and caregivers to help them let go of all the stress and worry and overwhelm and anxiety and burdens that they've put on their shoulders, so that they can release that and let that go and move forward, so that they can have a more happy, healthy, and fulfilling, abundant, and joyful life. So I love to do that, and I love bringing the Love and Light Show to you guys every Monday at 12 Atlantic, 11 Eastern. And its purpose is to be the light for you guys, to help you guys to be the light in your world, to help you guys connect with different coaches and healers and light workers and all the different people that can help you on your healing journey, so that you can get different tips and tricks, modalities. You can be connected with the people you really resonate with, so you can move forward on your healing journey with ease and grace and joy a little bit better. And we have some people jumping on live, so be sure to say hey. So Bethy, if I'm saying your name right, says hey. Hope you guys are having a great afternoon. And the Love and Light Show loves to bring new people to you. So if you're a light worker or feeling called, definitely let me know. I'm starting to go further into the summer. So if that's calling to you, let me know. So thanks for coming on today, Alex. How are you doing?
Yeah, you're welcome. It's my pleasure. I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day out
Awesome.
here in Moncton, New Brunswick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And yeah.
Awesome. So we encourage you guys to share out the show if you want that higher awareness. If you have friends and family who you know need to get unstuck in their life, definitely share it with them. So hi, Michelle. Tina says, hi, Laura and Alex. Hi, Tina. And hi,
Hey,
Stephanie. Hope
Tina.
you are having a wonderful Monday. So Alex is an elevated lifestyle coach, and he loves to empower leaders. So do you want to give us a bit of a background on you, Alex?
Yeah, so I guess I can give you a little rundown of how I became a coach, doing my own inner work and pulling myself out of a dark place, lonely depression and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of negative self-talk and, beliefs about myself that were holding me back, and fears and insecurities that were holding me back from becoming the person that I wanted to become, and really step into my power. So
Mm-hmm.
doing all that inner work and gaining an interest in psychology because of that deep inner work, all that played a big role in me becoming a coach and finding or being introduced to mentorship and personal development, really stimulated my passion to grow intentionally in my life, not
Mm-hmm.
just unintentionally. A lot of, going through this period in my life, I was growing unintentionally, but finding mentorship and personal development really narrowed my focus and became more intentional about which way I wanted to grow and what it was going to take for me to reach that higher level in my life that I wanted. And so that was a big part as well. And then through that mentorship and personal development, I found a passion to help others gain
Awesome.
that level of awareness and really overcome their limiting patterns and the things that are holding them back from achieving their inner greatness.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah, so it's a little bit about me, short and sweet.
Awesome. So do you want to jump right into it about higher awarenesses and how these people who are joining us online can become higher in their awareness?
Yeah, so I guess the first thing I want to share is what does having a higher awareness mean? There's a lot that goes under having a higher awareness. To me, more simply, I can put it is that having a higher awareness is gaining a deep understanding of your deep rooted subconscious limiting self-sabotaging patterns, beliefs, and fears. So, when we grow up, in the first 12 years of our life, that's when the majority of our core beliefs are formed in our subconscious mind. And once they're stored there, until we kind of go back and revisit those experiences and things that created those beliefs in our life, will guide us in directions and sabotage us in our pursuit to becoming more successful, in the pursuit of our desires and the pursuit of our success in life. Because if
Mm-hmm.
those subconscious beliefs and patterns, fears that you have that were created in those years misalign with your desires and success in life, you will operate based on that system and it'll sabotage your journey.
Hmm. Definitely.
So so like having a higher awareness to me is really about taking the time to dive deep into those past experiences, understanding your subconscious mind and understanding the things that are holding you back. So, you know, as much as, okay, so it's all nice to hear that, you know, 75%, up to 75% of those core beliefs are formed the first 12 years of your life. But another scary thing about that is 40% of your behavior is unconscious on a daily basis.
Hmm.
So 40% of the decisions you make every day are rooted in that core belief system.
Hmm.
So like if some things were going on in your life from 0 to 12 years old that, you know, maybe some struggles in your family or in your environment or, personal experiences that may have affected you painfully. Well, you've created beliefs about those experiences that now misalign or can misalign with what you actually want in life.
Hmm. Definitely.
Um, yeah. And so, and that so plays a part in like your fears, understanding your fears, understanding what fear is. The biggest thing for me that I realized was, anything that we're afraid of is really nothing to be afraid of, right? It's just an illusion of,
Hmm.
a perceived illusion of a threat, right? And the biggest thing that helped me understand this was understanding that, any fear you have is rooted in rejection, and our fear of rejection is,
Oh, you're a little bit breaking up.
am I
Your
breaking
fear
up?
of
Are we
rejection,
good?
that's where the last place I heard. I'm not
Okay.
sure if anyone else is getting the.
Okay, cool. So the fear of rejection is based in the fear of death, and the reason why that is because when we used to live in tribes, a long time ago, we would rely on our circle, we would rely on our tribe to provide us with food, shelter, water, protection. And if we were to get rejected from that tribe, it would ultimately mean death.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
that's still rooted in our old subconscious ways, right? Our lizard brain.
Hmm.
So now we fear rejection, but in reality, the reason why we fear rejection so much is because we fear death. So by
Hmm.
like understanding this, it helped me kind of be like, rejection is really nothing to be afraid of. If certain people don't like me or don't agree with what I say or how I am or certain things, then that's okay. There's plenty of other people in this world that are going to accept me for who I am, and they're going to
Exactly.
share the same beliefs and truths that I share. So, don't be afraid to be yourself and don't be afraid to be rejected and not liked by everyone.
Hmm.
Because the more you become you and the more you become authentic, the more you'll find the right people for you, your
Exactly.
tribe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it's
yeah,
awesome to live
I,
there. And like some people are like, I don't know what that looks like. And I definitely used to be like, I don't know. And I had to get rid of toxic people in my life. And then I was kind of like a loner on the spiritual journey. And now I have like an amazing tribe of healers and coaches and like the best, most heart-centered people in my life. And I'm like uber grateful for everything that's come because of the work I've done.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
When we start to speak our truth, other people start to relate to that truth. And then you also pave the way and give them permission to share their own truth as well.
Hmm. Yeah. And people are totally agreeing. Stephanie says, so true. You have a little love eye face. Michelle said, needing to hear this today. So I'm glad it's resonating with you
Awesome.
guys.
Yeah. So that's a little bit about that. I mean, there's also a big part of it that keeps people stuck, um, is their ego, unfortunately. And and
Definitely.
when I talk about ego, a lot of people have their own opinions of what ego is, and some people say, oh, I don't have an ego because they think ego is like this terrible thing, but it's like an ego is like your identity. So everyone has an ego, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, I encourage anything that I say here, guys, take it, use your own critical thinking and do your own research. I've dove into ego. And you have to dive into your own ego. You have to understand
Mm-hmm.
your ego and what
Yep.
triggers your ego to really understand how it's holding you back. So, one of the biggest things that I can give you guys that really helped me understand my ego and help me kind of not engage in it in a negative way, because ego can be good and bad, right? I mean, I've let go a part of my identity, which was, the partier and the, going out and, ruining my health by doing drugs and doing all these things that weren't good for me. I've let that part of my ego go because it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't serving me and it was harming me. And I've created a new ego of, being a coach and being a leader for people. And, you know, that's a positive part of my ego. But the negative part of your ego is the symptoms that it uses to react to threat.
Mm-hmm.
So when someone threatens your core belief system, or just threatens something that you say, or you perceive a threat, you're gonna get defensive. You're going to maybe deflect what's being said. You're gonna deny maybe what's being said, or
Mm-hmm.
you're going to pass blame onto someone else. If something's threatening you, you might say, oh, it wasn't my fault, it was his fault, right? You're protecting yourself, and that's your ego, right? Instead of just
Mm-hmm.
taking responsibility and trying to come up with a solution to whatever it is that's going on, right?
Right.
So blame is one. Justifying, your actions. So justification is another symptom of the ego that can hold you back. And comparing yourself to others
Mm-hmm.
is another big one that a lot of people struggle with, that I've struggled with personally.
Mm-hmm.
And still, today it's easy to compare yourself and think that you're not as good as, or you're better than,
Mm-hmm.
and then putting yourself above or below people to make you feel better or worse about yourself. And it's like, it
Right.
can be a very, a big trap for people, right? So
Definitely.
letting go of that is a big thing. And what other, there's distortion as well. And yeah, I think distortion is the last one. So distorting the truth. So like pretending you're more successful than you are because you think
Mm-hmm.
people will like you better, or like is an example of distorting the truth. And that's your ego at play. That's your ego trying to, put himself to appear more than you are, instead of just being
Right.
transparent and humble. And
Mm-hmm.
so those ego symptoms are very powerful and can really hold yourself back to keep you from stepping into your power and taking full responsibility for your life and your situation, and to
Mm-hmm.
take action to change that, instead of blaming the government or blaming your friends or blaming your family or blame is a
Mm-hmm.
big one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Definitely. And you
So,
need to take responsibility for anything in order to change it. Because if you're the victim, you can't do anything about
mm,
it. You're just a victim who is in the suffering instead of choosing to be
mm,
the person in power who co-creates the reality with the universe and decides to do
mm,
better things.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's yeah, responsibility, like personal responsibility is personal power.
Yeah.
Anytime you give your power, or anytime you blame something outside of yourself, or you avoid taking responsibility for your situation, like you're giving away your power to create a
Hmm.
solution and to change a circumstance, right? You're just going to
Yeah.
remain there, keep blaming. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Cool. So how do you help people get into this higher awareness?
It's a process.
Hmm.
It can be, um, I guess, how can I explain this? I mean, the easiest way to explain this is, I reflect your thoughts back to you to guide you to your own answers, because
Hmm.
no one knows your life better than you do.
Right.
And the thing with our subconscious mind is that often it'll bury the experiences that were painful to you, that created those misaligned beliefs or fears that you have
Mm-hmm.
that prevent you from moving forward in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So my job as a coach and as an elevated lifestyle coach, is to reflect what you're saying to me and ask you powerful, deep questions to guide you to your own experiences that have created those beliefs so
Mm-hmm.
that you can understand them, know where they're coming from, and that gives you the awareness and the power to overcome them and move forward and recreate a new belief about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Awesome.
that's, I guess, the best way that I could describe that.
Very cool. So do you want to get into the self-coaching exercise and kind of give people a taste of the questions and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I got three questions for you guys. It's so this is kind of a self-coaching exercise that some of the exercises we do at Elevated Academy to give you guys also the ability to self-coach, right? You can't always have your coach with you, and a lot of the work, honestly, before you're ready for coaching, needs to be done on your own.
Mm-hmm.
When I found coaching, I had done a lot of inner work myself. I had gotten myself to a point where I was ready for coaching, and all my experiences had groomed me, I guess, or paved the way to being coached powerfully. So
Mm-hmm.
these self-coaching exercises can really help you get to that level and do that work. Some of that work yourself to get you to that level. So the first question I have, and if you guys don't have a pen and a piece of paper, write this down, and you can come back to it later.
Yeah, get your
So the
journals.
first question is, yeah, get your journals, get your piece of paper and a pen. So the first question is, what are 5 advantages of being stuck? And this is a counterintuitive question. So again, what are 5 advantages of being stuck? And, you might think, well, there are no advantages of being stuck. But the thing is psychologically, you're getting a benefit from staying where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And your pain and your struggle is more beneficial to you than your success.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So the 5 advantages could be, it's easy to stay where you are.
Mm-hmm.
It's comfortable, familiar. It gives you relatability with your peers. If you have the same struggles, you can relate to your friends and complain about the same things or talk about the same things in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So those could be examples of advantages of being stuck.
Right.
And the second question is, what are 5 beliefs you have about being successful?
Ooh.
So this one, a lot of people don't realize, but I know for me, when I was kind of maybe envious of people with money and envious of their success, and not just about money, right? I mean, of course, everyone wants money and whatever, but a lot of us have misaligned beliefs about money and about success,
Mm-hmm.
right? When I redefined what success meant to me, I was already successful in my life, and
Right.
that empowered me instead of kept me, envious of other people and comparing myself to others and all this kind
Mm-hmm.
of stuff. So 5 beliefs you have. What are 5 beliefs you have about being successful? One of the beliefs I had was, it's going to take long hours. I need to work at it every day, 12 hours a day, nonstop,
Mm-hmm.
until I can build it to this, whatever. But it's like, you know, through my journey, I realized that, balance is actually essential and non-negotiable if you want to build success in your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Definitely.
you can work 60, 80, 100 hours a week, but you're building on a weak foundation, right? Like your balance, your self-care, your self-love, and the things that you do to take care of yourself, spending time with family, things that energize you, spending time outside, all these things are the foundation to your success. So if you don't have a strong foundation, you're building on a weak foundation, and eventually it'll collapse or crumble or fall apart, or things are going to be a lot harder to hold up, right? So the
Definitely.
higher your stress becomes, the more you're going to crumble because you have a weak foundation of self-care and taking care of yourself. So
And that's something that we
So
see a
one,
lot when people just burn out because they don't take good care of
mhm,
themselves and they don't have those foundational habits or rituals in their life from the beginning.
mhm. Yeah, exactly right. So anyone who's got big dreams and big goals to create something in their life and to make an impact in the world, you know, if you don't have a foundation, if you haven't built the routines and the habits yet, I encourage you guys to really focus on that first. Don't wait till you're busy and you're stressed out to start taking care of yourself. Start taking care
Exactly.
of yourself now and build up.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. So what are 5 beliefs you have about being successful? Another one that I had was, people are going to want more from me, or, people aren't going to like me. They're going to think I'm a dick or I'm greedy or whatever, right? So these are all
Hmm.
things that I've said that I've judged other people for with money, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's misaligning. So that, and just so you guys know, that creates a belief that if I become successful and I make the money that I want to make, then I'm going to be a dick. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to have to work long hours and I'm going to have time for myself. And so all the judgments you have about people who are more successful than you, or so that you perceive are more successful than you,
Hmm.
are actually sabotaging you from, creating that success, because you think or you believe that if you achieve that level of success, you're not going to have time for yourself, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Hmm.
So the last question I have for you guys is, what are your 5 biggest fears related to moving forward on your goals and dreams?
Good one.
So, a big fear related to moving forward on my dreams is, I guess, losing touch with, not being, or being consumed with the success, you
Hmm.
know, um, spreading myself too thin, not being able to take the time for myself. That's kind of a fear of mine, not being able to disconnect
Hmm.
from what I do to my personal life as well. I know that
Right.
it's not going to happen because I'm conscious of it, but it's still a fear of mine that, you know, I don't know what it's going to be like when I achieve this kind of success in my life.
Hmm.
So the fear is, I might not have the time for my family that I want, or I might not able to have the privacy that I want, maybe, or,
Right.
whatever.
Hmm.
So that's a powerful one to kind of determine what fears you have related to moving forward. And it could be also, you could also think about, what's your next step moving forward, uh, and what are you afraid of? Why are you afraid of taking those next steps?
Hmm.
And kind of diving into that. So those are some really reflective self-coaching questions that you guys can take some time, and spend as much time. I say it's a 5 minute exercise, but really, take 15, 20 minutes, right? It can go pretty deep, and it never ends. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
mm,
Awesome. We had a couple other people join live. So Leslie said hello. Steve says, nice to see you again. And Lynn, hand clap. Awesome. So I'd love to hear how you guys are making out with those questions. So as you guys do some of that deep inner work, if you have some aha moments, or if you guys want to share any of the cool things that you discover, definitely feel free to do so.
definitely.
Mhm. Awesome. So do you want to share all the cool things that you're up to and any links and stuff that you have going on in the future?
Yeah, so I have 2 gifts for you guys today, actually. If you guys enjoyed these self-coaching questions and this exercise, at Elevate Academy, we have a coaching master, email coaching program that's called 5 Minute Masterclass. You get
Awesome.
3 emails a week, with, questions or actions or practices that you can do to empower yourself and start to become the creator of your reality and become the creator of your world,
Hmm.
and uh, you know get you ready to kind of maybe take the next step in your life, or to be more intentional with how you're growing. So yeah, very powerful email coaching program that we have, and I'll share the link in the comments as well
Awesome.
after
Thanks.
the video. And for those of you who are brave enough to take the next step and have done it, some of that inner work, but you're still feeling stuck, still feeling held back by yourself, and you have a big dream to, impact the world with your gift or your services. I also fill my miracle mastery sessions every week with some special guests. This is something at no cost, but I guarantee that it's not free. You're going to pay with your courage and your humility and your vulnerability to really take yourself to that next level. So for those, purpose driven leaders and coaches and healers out there that are ready to take the next step and are feeling stuck, you can apply for one of those sessions as well. And, yeah.
Awesome. So do you want to leave the link for that too, so that they know the difference between the two ones that they're signing up for?
Yeah. So I'll post those two as well.
Awesome.
In the comments.
Great. Yeah, and I definitely encourage you guys to do that. I did a session with Alex on Friday, and it was really insightful. All the deep questions were really interesting to see different sides of things. It's fun.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Alex, for coming on and sharing all of your wisdom around being out of your ego and stepping into the higher awareness of your life and choosing to get unstuck and have those breakthroughs in your life. So thank you so much for everyone who joined today, and definitely feel free to share it out if you got value from it. Tag a friend if you have someone in mind in particular who needs to hear this message, and definitely continue to join us on the Love and Light Show. I'm actually going to be away for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to Florida for Tony Robbins' Life and Wealth Mastery, so I'm super excited for that, but I'm going to be off of Facebook a lot during that time, so I can't do my show while I'm away. Well, I'll be back like 3 weeks from now on a Monday, so definitely continue to make the Love and Light Show a habit in your life. And I also have the old episodes on YouTube, so if you want to catch up on some old ones while I'm away, I'll definitely put the link on the YouTube site below so that you guys can have some more love and light in your life while I'm away. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful week over the next couple weeks, actually. And I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Bye.
See you guys. Thanks.